Hi there. This is Susan Clifton with Clifton Design Group, also known as the Painter of Thought. In addition to being a web designer here in South Florida, I am also an artist, mixed media, and I have a website called painterofthought.com where I sell prints of my work. This website hasn't been updated in a while, so this is a perfect opportunity to show you how to update WordPress, your theme, and your plugins. Doing a backup first and attempting to do all of this without breaking the site. WordPress had a major update recently to 5.1. Well, first it was 5.0, and now already within a week it went to 5.1. So I am still, I think, running 4.9.9, and with this major update we have to be extremely careful to make sure that the theme is updated as well and that all of the plugins are compatible. So let's get started. Okay, so this is my dashboard, and you can see I was running, or I currently am running 4.9.9, and I needed to update to 5.1. As soon as that first number goes from a 4 to a 5, you can be sure it's a major upgrade. WordPress came out with something called the Gutenberg editor, which is a major difference. I am running a theme called Divi, and Divi has a builder that's built into it, and I am going to also do something to Divi. It's probably a step that you won't have to worry about, but they have something called a classic editor, which I still want to keep using. So I also have 13 plugins that need updating, and my theme probably needs updating as well. So I'm going to click up here where it has a number 16, these arrows going in a circle, because this is going to tell me everything. So obviously I have to do a WordPress update. I have all of these plugins that need updating. And I have a theme update as well. This is a theme that came with WordPress. I can update it just to keep things clean, or I can even remove it from my back end if I want. Before I do any of this, I am going to go to Updraft Plus Backups. And if you don't have this installed, you can go to your plugins, add new, do a search for Updraft Plus, and do an install. I have this set to do regular backups, like weekly. So the great thing about this plugin is, should anything happen to my site for whatever reason, I can hit restore. So if any mistake that I make today, let's say I update a plugin that really isn't compatible, it's going to, break the site, I can hit restore. Then I can go back to my research and either replace that plugin with another plugin or delete it completely. I have like many options, but I can't fix a third-party plugin. Also, the theme itself might break when I update WordPress. So all of these things, if I have a recent backup, I'll be able to hit this restore button. So I haven't done anything to the site since February 25th, so I'm pretty sure this backup is just fine. So I'm not going to run another one, but and it's going to run another one automatically next Monday. And or I could just sit here now and hit backup, but I don't think you want to wait for me to, you don't want to wait that long. So okay, let's move on. So I'm going to start with the plugins, because most of these plugins that I'm using are pretty standard. These are very common plugins. Nothing here is going to break anything. This plugin, Regenerate Thumbnails, has been around for many years. Next Gen also, they maintain this plugin very well, so I'm very familiar with how they operate. And since it has, this 5.1 has been out for a couple of weeks, I'm pretty sure that all of these updates are because of that update. So let's just the one thing that scares me the most is WooCommerce, just because that's how all of my my products get purchased, so I don't want that to break. But most likely, like I said, this update is probably going to be more compatible with the new version of WordPress. Okay, so WordPress always gives you multiple ways of doing the same thing. So I can either click here at each one that needs updating, or I could go back up here to that page that showed all my updates, because it only shows the updates on that page. And I can just hit select all and say update plugins. So all of our plugins have been updated, and you'll see if you go back to the updates page, it says all plugins are up to date. And I'm going to just do a quick view of the front of this site, just to make sure that we are still looking correctly. Everything looks fine. The most important plugin, WooCommerce, is working, or we wouldn't be seeing these products here. See, each of these products is working. Let's click on one. Okay, so I'm going to navigate back to the updates. And part 2, or step 2, is going to be to update Divi. So I'm going to click on that and hit update theme, update themes. Usually the themes don't take very long, but if you sometimes you might have a more complicated theme like Avada. With Avada, whatever you want to call it, what happens with that is you update the main theme, and then you have to update some add-on plugins that come with the theme. So when you return to themes page, it then gives you a prompt to update the themes. Divi does not have that. It's all in one, so we don't have to bother with that. So now I'm going to go back to the update page again. Actually, I'm going to stop right there. I am going to, I'll let it continue for now, but I'm going to view the site one more time before, since we did this Divi update, I want to make sure that, again, it's not broken. So everything seems to be working. Okay, let's go back to my update thing. Seems to have gone away. Okay, here it is. Okay, so now the last thing to do is to update WordPress. So we're just going to click update. Now we get a welcome screen for the new version of WordPress, and this usually tells you all about this new this new and improved version and all the cool little things that they have in here. So this is a major update, so you might want to carefully look at this information, and also maybe even go look at some YouTube channels where they walk you through how to use the Gutenberg editor. It is very different. So I'm going to think about doing a video on the Gutenberg, just because I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be scratching their heads saying, okay, what do I do now? Okay, so one last time we're going to view the front end and make sure that nothing's broken and everything seems to be okay. All right, so another thing that I wanted to show you was at the top of the page here after I did the plugin updates. This little thing suddenly appeared. Whenever you have a plugin that maybe has like a major change, and maybe they have some instructions for you, or they just want you to alert you that there might be a problem, you'll see a little message like this. So in this case, this is pertaining to the WooCommerce Stripe plugin, which allows me to connect this website with the Stripe payment gateway. It's saying that it may impact the appearance of my checkout, and if my checkout has changed unexpectedly, please follow the instructions to fix. Now, I looked at this the other day because I was updating a client's website, and it pretty much sounded like the fix that they did was to make the checkout look more like the other forms on the site. So that sounded pretty good to me, so we're not fixing anything. We like the fact that they're now letting us control the style of the forms. So anyway, that's it for this tutorial. It's very easy to do. Very seldom do I really see any major problems if a site is kept up to date. When I see the biggest problems with updating WordPress and plugins and all that is when it hasn't been updated in a very long time and you're skipping multiple versions, many versions. You know, I've seen sites that are still running WordPress 3.9 and we're already up to 5.1. So when you're doing such a big jump, and also your theme, if you haven't updated your theme like forever, that might be a problem. If your site is 3 or 4 years old, you may have missed a lot of updates. So what you have to do is go to that theme developer and find out on their website if they have any suggestions on what you need to do before you do your updates. You want to find out before you do it, not after. So anyway, good luck and come back soon.